Wycoller is a sleepy village situated in northern England. It's surrounded by scenic countryside and its most famous landmark is the 16th century manor house known as Wycoller Hall. This little village I'm going to today is only about half an hour from home. It's very small roads leading into it, so you can't drive into it unless you're a resident. So if you're not a resident, you park in the car park about 500 metres outside, and that costs about £1 a day for the whole day, so that's not too bad. So this is me just coming into the village now. These are the first houses here. It's believed that there had been a community here since the Stone Age. By the 17th century, the village consisted of a sheep farming community, and by the late 18th century, weaving with a hand loom was the main occupation of the majority of households in the village. However, the invention of power looms in the 19th century led to the village's decline. By the end of the 19th century, the village was almost completely abandoned. There are 7 bridges throughout the village, some of which are very old. This is the old Packhorse Bridge, but be careful walking across this one because it's very uneven. And the abandoned manor house is just on the other side here. The 15th century Packhorse Bridge is also sometimes referred to as Sally's Bridge, named after the mother of Wycoller's last squire. The Clapper Bridge dates from the late 18th or early 19th century. Grooves in the bridge formed by the weaver's clogs were apparently chiselled flat by a farmer whose daughter fell and was fatally injured on this bridge. In front, this is Wycoller Hall, which has been abandoned for quite some time now. So I'm going to go up and have a closer look. Wycoller Hall was built in the 16th century. It was eventually abandoned in the early 1800s. At the time, the owner was a Squire Cunliffe, and he got into a lot of gambling debt. He extended the building and he borrowed heavily to do that. So when he died, the building eventually fell into ruins. In the 1970s, Lancashire County Council bought this land and dedicated it to become Wycoller Country Park as it is today. So facilities wise in the village, there usually is a small cafe, but it's not open today. I'm not sure if it's still here or not. If you know about that, let me know in the comments. When I was here last time, it was here. Apart from that, there are also quite a lot of benches around, especially around the old hall for you to sit on. Wycoller Hall is known for having a link to the Bronte sisters, the famous 19th century authors. If you watch my video on Haworth, the village in Yorkshire, just a few miles, about 5 miles in that direction, it's all about the Brontes, where they came from, and about the village and the history. The link to the Brontes with this hall is that apparently Charlotte Bronte used to pass through this village on her way to Gawthorpe Hall. And apparently the description of Ferndean Manor in her book Jane Eyre is very, very similar to this hall. So a lot of people think that this hall was the inspiration for her creation of Ferndean Manor in the book Jane Eyre. This is the old fireplace, which has been restored. I think this is the only part of the house that has been restored. If you know of any other parts that have been restored, let me know in the comments. And here is a little cubicle, and I have no idea what this is. If you have any idea, let me know in the comments.
The Friends of Wycoller were established in 1948 with the aim of preserving the village and in particular the hall, and some restoration work was carried out in the 1950s.
And here's the information board that explains a little bit about the link to Ferndean Manor in Charlotte Bronte's book Jane Eyre. Apparently the house is haunted too. There is a ghost of a woman in black who appears at one of the windows. I don't know which window that is. And also there's a ghost of a headless horseman who goes up a missing staircase on full moon evenings.
This building, situated next to the Old Hall, was believed to have been used to store cattle at some point. However, today it's not possible to enter this building because it's not safe for the public. It's used to display information on the history of the village and of the hall.
And this is an old picture here showing the fireplace and how big it was, and people used to sit inside around it. And this photo shows the ruins around the year 1900 where you could still see the second floor. Nowadays it's just the ground floor that exists. Behind me is a modern monument that people come to see on the hill above Wycoller village. This is the Atom, and from here you get really good views across the moors between Lancashire and Yorkshire. So apparently there's a road just near the Atom. So instead of hiking up like I've done, you could actually drive up to it. That's all from me today in the lovely village of Wycoller. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please think about subscribing or pressing like or leaving me a comment. I'm grateful for any support I can get towards growing the channel. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.